productivity, shall we? So I've been in quarantine for a long time. I mean, Italy was one of the first countries to react, and we've been in lockdown since the beginning of March. So it's been 2 full months. I've been seeing a lot of videos about productivity. Everyone was trying to stay positive, which is a good thing, and everyone was posting their routine, how to stay productive. And I am someone who cannot be productive at all at home. I don't like going out, but every time I study, I go to the library of my university because I cannot study at home. I don't know why. Maybe it's the environment. I have no idea. I even shift my desk facing the windows because I cannot function without sunlight. I need sunlight more than human interaction. I was on a good start, it was a bit crazy, the situation, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be as those people who follow a schedule, they're productive, they're staying positive, they're doing things even at home. So you know what I did? I said, why not? And I bought a printable from one of the artists I follow. I will link her down below. But anyway, it was a printable of a schedule, monthly and weekly. And I printed my schedule. So can you see? Do you know how many days I stick to the schedule? Take a guess. You don't know? Congratulations! 0! That was cute of me. It was very cute. Look at this. Monday, study from 9 a.m. until 12, and then from 2 p.m. until 4, and then I could do wherever I wanted, which was like Skillshare, film, edit, workout. This was every day except for Friday, because Friday it was my dissertation day. So I said, you know what? The exams are going to be in June. If now that's March, I stick to the schedule in June, I'm gonna finally be someone who knows everything about the exam. And I was so wrong. I mean, I did try. I put all my books on my desk where I could see them as a reminder, so they could give me enough anxiety about my procrastination. And I even cleaned my makeup brushes because I said, you know what? I'm not gonna wear makeup anyways. And now my brushes are so clean, spotless. And despite that, I did nothing. Not one, not two, not even try to do a single thing. I didn't open a book for 2 months. Well, I did one day, maybe twice, but I was not mentally ready to study. Hear me out. It's not that I did nothing during these days, but I was consuming so much content about being productive, doing something for yourself, taking care of your mental health, be ready because when the time will come again, when the doors will be open again, you will be ready for the world, to face the world. I tried. I mean, it's not that I lay down on the bed for 2 months. I started working out because my sister started doing the clothing challenge, the shred challenge, which everyone seems doing, which is good. It really motivates me, and it even motivated me. I think my sister, who was allergic to working out, doing something finally. So I was like, I'm gonna start too. And I started working out. I cried a lot. I had to stop my workout multiple times because I was just so unfit and demotivated that every time I could not hold the plank or do a stupid thing, I just cried on the floor. So I stopped working out, and then I got a treadmill. I just stared at the treadmill for 3 weeks before jumping on it, and that's it. That's how I spent my first month, consuming productivity videos about people being productive, but actually not being productive myself. Until one day, because there is always a thing that shifts your mind, my friend told me that a yoga place was having Zoom classes for free. Basically, they're on donation, but you can also donate £0. So she said you can book a class without paying, and you can try if you enjoy it. And I kid you not, this was the first thing I managed to be consistent in. I've been doing yoga for, I think, 3 weeks now, and I did not miss a single class. Not because I enjoy yoga. I mean, I do enjoy yoga. It's the first thing I do in the morning. It helps with just doing something, and I just feel better. I wouldn't say yoga changed my life, but now changed my situation. Only thinking that I was able to do something, because the first week of yoga, I mean, I'm not flexible at all. I am not the definition of a flexible person. So you can see those people who can pull their legs behind them, and I don't know, they can twist everything. I cannot even touch the floor with my fingers. But it wasn't as demotivating as I thought it would be. I don't know, maybe just the fact fact that someone else I know just saying, hey, do you want to try? It's free, we can do it together. Mentally, I had to book a class, so they knew I booked the class. In my mind, I had something scheduled and my friend was doing the class too. I was serious about it. And then the first day, surprise, surprise, I didn't cry. I felt very stiff, but also I felt like I was finally doing something. It took me 1 month to realize that if you want to do something, you just have to do it. Shocker! What a shocker! I know! I hate me for this. But I just want to say, I have a point. After that, it was like a snowball effect. I mean, I started doing yoga for the first week, and this was the only thing I did consistently for 1 week. And then I realized I wanted to do more, so I started working out again. This time with Cassie from Vlog Pilates, because I love her. I love her so much. But because my sister was doing Chloe, I thought, oh, you know what? I can change once. I mean, a workout is a workout, right? No, it's not. If you don't click, it's not gonna work. I mean, not literally, but because literally it was going to work. I did 4 days of Chloe and I felt stronger. It's about you. If something doesn't feel right for you, doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means you have to choose a different path. So my point is that I feel better. I'm still struggling, but I'm struggling less. This whole trend of being productive is actually toxic in a way. I read a thread on Twitter, something like, you're not working from home, you're in a lockdown because of the pandemic, trying to work from home. And it completely shifted my mindset. Everyone was just saying, oh, you're working from home. No, it's not your choice. You are forced to. It really hurts me seeing people that feel bad because they are not being productive. Hear me out. Being productive is just a capitalistic mindset instilled in us since birth, even if we're constantly surrounded by motivational quotes. In theory, we think we have internalized that healthier mindset because we know it's wrong. But when we're forced into a situation that's really challenging for us mentally and physically, that's when it's hard to apply a positive mindset that we think we internalize, when in reality it's much harder because of this sense of guilt we feel towards society standards and towards ourselves for not meeting a standard that nobody really meets anyway. Society projected on us. This is not good for our mental health and not even for our physical health. And you don't really need to rush in a world that's slowing down. That being said, I'm not saying you just had to lay on your bed. That's why I told my story before, because I knew I was being wrong. But once I realized why I felt bad, that's how I could change my mindset. That's how I could really shift everything. It's like it hit me like an epiphany. I was like, wait a second, and it worked. Once I realized what was wrong, it didn't took me much to change. I mean, I went from one workout to another, and I opened the book instead of looking at it and trying to think about everything I could do instead of actually studying. It's not really something you have to think about. It's just how you think about it. This is the perfect time to try finding something that you like, or maybe becoming better at something. You can try new things, brainstorm ideas. You can even have a journal for your ideas where you can take notes, and that will be your quarantine notes. Maybe it would be your creativity peak and you still don't know just because you didn't open a page and started writing it. Or you can learn how to be financially independent, because this thing is temporary. Maybe it would be a relatively long period of time, but we will eventually come out of this situation and your life will be different. But if you just had a problem before, now it is time to find the solution for your problems. You have time, but this doesn't mean you should not use your time to do something. Everyone and their mother is doing sponsored video with Skillshare. Even I use the Skillshare code to have 2 months for free, and now it's almost over because I did this in March. I took notes. I used it to learn about Final Cut Pro. I followed some classes about creativity. Train your mind to think about something. I will link them down below because they're very cute and I highly recommend it. Of course, this video is not sponsored by Skillshare yet, but I do recommend it. So just take this time to work on yourself. Stay curious. Don't be productive. Aim to be proactive, because there is a such a big difference in being productive and proactive. If you think about being productive, you just think about your job, about doing more than someone else. Mentally, it is a competition. But the only competition you should have right now is with yourself. You should just aim to be better than you were yesterday. And now you have the time to do it. If you do yoga for one day, you are already better than who you were yesterday when you did it. I mean, I know it's nothing major, but the smallest things, they really change your mindset. I really do feel better. I didn't lose any weight. I just got more flexible. Now my vinyasa is smoother. Now that I managed to change my mindset, I decided that I'm gonna consume less and produce more. I know I use the word produce, but because that's a word. The thing is, I used to consume so much content passively. I don't need to consume that much. I switched off all the notification. I cleaned my desktop and my Gmail. I rearranged everything not to be distracted because I have to study for my exam. I have to write my dissertation. I'm waiting for feedback. I'm struggling. I have anxiety and I don't need any more distraction. I don't want, because I know exactly when I want to get distracted. If I'm using, for example, a Pomodoro method to study, I can go around even 3 hours without taking a longer break, because every 25 minutes I know I'm gonna have 5 minutes of break. At the same time, I'm home, so I know I can quit whenever I want. So there is no pressure from external factors. Everything is inside me. It's me. I decide what I want to do, and I decide I want to stay focused for 2 hours, 3 hours, because I know that if I do these 3 hours focusing on my studies, I can do whatever I want in the evening, because that's my personal goal, and that's enough for me. That's enough for me to feel like I did accomplish something during the day, and to feel better about myself and just in general about life, to stay positive. For the past month and a half, maybe almost 2 months before I really changed my mindset, I felt like my body and my soul were two different things. I didn't feel like they were connected anymore. In my mind, I was thinking about ways to be productive. What can I do today? I have to do something because people are doing something and I'm doing nothing. And I don't want to do nothing. I want to do things. I just put a lot of pressure on me, mentally of course, because I was in this state of mind, but my body refused to act and move. And to be honest, you just need time. People need time. And if you feel like you're doing nothing and you're coming out of this quarantine as you enter, so basically learning nothing, you might be wrong. You can have achieved nothing in your opinion, but this time served you to understand that your problem does not rely in needing time. Because if you had 2 months where you literally did not have to work and could stay home, of course, without any problem, I mean, if you have a serious issue, it's a whole other story. But I mean, if you're in a comfortable situation and you thought that this could be the time for you to learn something and change as a person, and you feel like you didn't do that, you're not wrong, but you're not even right, because this time served you to understand that you don't need time to change. You need a different mindset. Maybe that's your problem. Maybe realizing that even if you have time, you don't change is a way to understand that maybe your problem is not linked to the time you have at your disposal, so you have to find the solution of your problem somewhere else, because it's not the time you need, it's something else, and you just have to find it. I was consuming too much social media in a bad way. I don't follow enough people that make me take action, that make me do something. I mean, I follow people inspiring, nice, that I can aspire to be, but I follow very few people that make me take action and do something. In this situation, more than ever, I realized that I need to surround myself not only with people that inspire me, but that inspire me to be proactive. People that make me be proactive are the kind of people that can help me accomplish my goal. Your goal is just yours, but people can help you find new motivation during your journey, basically. Maybe they don't know because YouTuber maybe doesn't even know you exist, but because they post a video you like and it feels like they're talking to you, you feel better and you take action because you took the feeling you got from the video and put it into action. But it's you do it. Of course, you need source of inspiration. That's why it is hard to stay creative and motivated in quarantine, I don't know you, but I get inspired by watching people. Even a good coffee in the morning in my favorite place makes me feel better and makes my brain work in a creative way. A conversation I have with my friend can be inspiring, and it's not that I cannot have a conversation, but the idea of meeting my friend and just being outside, I mean, the whole environment change. That's why when you change your environment, you can also change your mindset. And right now at home, our environment unfortunately is very confined to the people we are home with and what we are consuming. Also, I mean, do you really need a reason to reduce your screen time besides your health? I mean, literally. I don't want to talk about your mental health, because maybe you say, okay, I'm just consuming passively. Social media is just in a passive way for me. I mean, I don't really get affected by what I see, which, by the way, I think you do subconsciously, but you do you. Anyway, I needed to cut my screen time because, one, I'm already blind enough, so I didn't want to lose the last 0.5 I can see. It was becoming overwhelming and I needed to find some balance. To wrap it up, basically what I wanted to say is, don't feel discouraged that just because people seem to be productive. How much you're being productive? First of all, you cannot quantify it because it has to be in relation to something. You're not working. I mean, you're not at your job. You're not getting paid to be productive when you're talking about your hobbies or something that you like doing. And you should be doing what sparks joy in you. Stay curious, be proactive, and learn something. Just because knowledge is the most powerful tool you can have, regardless of the situation, you always need more knowledge for everything in your life. And do things that spark joy in you, because you deserve it. You deserve to be happy and you deserve to feel happy. I hope this video made you feel better about your situation, or at least that you're not alone. Thank you for watching. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.